Okay, recording is on.
Good.
Now I will send the link to you guys as soon as I get it uploaded to my YouTube afterwards, and then everybody can have access to it. So this is what your profile looks like on a computer screen, but they've been really working hard with iPhone apps or the cell phone apps so that you can be able to do similar procedures or similar actions on your phone, because we all have our phone with us, right? And so if you're trying to make some changes or edits on your phone, this should help. So either way, computer or phone. The very first thing we need to look at is edit your public profile and URL. LinkedIn, when you sign up and set up a profile, gives you a canned URL. And that URL usually has a whole bunch of numbers at the end of it. Now mine has been personalized. So you want, in this extension, you want to take all the numbers that are on your profile off and just have your name there or your business name. So I have chosen to have Marketing Mentress there because I want to be known as the Marketing Mentress online. And so that is very, 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 I can't stress enough how important that is. I connect with CEOs, owners of businesses, and they haven't edited this URL. This is crucial. It really makes you look professional and gives you credibility online. So I'm going to go back now to the profile page. Now there are some things just on your profile page. You need to get rid of the generic background on there and put your own background picture on there. This is the what the background of my cover on my book, Fired at 50, looks like. You need to have a professional headshot. Your name, only your name goes where the name line is. No silent partners, no MBA, BA, whatever. This is just your name goes here. I read the entire terms of use of LinkedIn before I got started because I was so scared that I'd do something wrong online, because I didn't grow up with social media. So I had to really work hard to learn what I do know now. And then this down here is huge. They call it your headline. And it's like in a newspaper. What do they put on a headline in a newspaper that's going to get people to read it? So your headline needs to be different. It needs to be something that nobody else would have. So for instance, I used to sell real estate. I specialized in for sale by owners. And that was in the days, late 1970s, early 1980s, when there was no internet. So we had this great big thick book that we used for our MLS listings. And I managed to be top seller, but I specialized. I phoned for sale by owners, only for sale by owners. And I had all the listings, so all the realtors had to come to me. So I at least got part of a lot of the sales that went on in Edmonton. So that's just one example how you can make yourself different. And the key to being successful in business and being successful on LinkedIn is to be different. There is a book you need to get. It's written by Roy Osing. Roy, and his name is spelled O-S as in Susan, I-N-G. And he has written a series of books called Be Different or Be Dead. And I actually interviewed him on my Marketing Mentress show. I have a podcast show called The Marketing Mentress Show. And he was amazing. He's the CEO. He's the retired CEO of TELUS in British Columbia. And he took TELUS from almost being broke to being a very profitable corporation. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is your searches. So if you just go and click in this little search bar up here and go down to people. Now this is huge. This is a secret of LinkedIn that most people do not know. And whether you're on a paid platform or whether you're on a free platform, we can all do searches like this. So you search people and you want to find locations. So say you're looking for somebody in Calgary. And it always gives you that pop-up of the selection. Always remember to click apply. Then you want to go and search through your different connections. So first connections are people that you're directly connected to. Second level connections are people that are connected to your first level connections. Third level are people that are connected to your second level connections and further out. So you think this can go into like 6th level connection. Before LinkedIn turned it off, they turned it off about 3 years ago, that you could see your full extended reach on LinkedIn. And at that time, I was probably at about 4,000 connections, 3,000 to 4,000 connections. And I had an extended reach of over 94 million people. That's how huge LinkedIn is. So you want to make sure that when you're doing searches that you're searching beyond your more direct connections, because everybody is connected to somebody else and you don't know who somebody might be connected to. So all of our circles somewhere will overlap. So remember to click apply. And then if you look under the current company, so say you're looking for a specific company. And I'm in the Edmonton area, but in Calgary, maybe you want to search City of Calgary. Maybe you want to search Shaw Communications or the University of Calgary. So let's say City of Calgary. And then click apply. Tell me if I'm going too fast.
Nope.
You're okay? All right. Then if you, and you notice how the search changes. So we're now showing 5,230 results. That's more than what most of us are connected to on LinkedIn. So you know that it's going out into your extended reach, right? So here's another one. You can set it up through all filters so that you don't need to put name and the company name in here, but you might want to put title. So in your title, let's try CEO. So you can see where we've already got searches saved. We don't want to necessarily search for past companies unless we know specifically who we're looking for. And industries, like we could have government administration, information and technology services. We could try putting that in. And language. Then click apply. Oh, 3. That's much more manageable, right? So you have 3 people. This person is a chief executive officer. Now, I'll tell you about these profiles, the headshots. If the person that comes up in a search is beyond your second level or beyond your third level, because very often people 3rd level and beyond, we cannot see their headshot. And people also turn off that view of their headshot. In fact, while I'm on that, I'm going to take you in to your privacy and settings. So down here, this is where you can go and you can set it up how you want people to see you when they view your profile. So get to
Is everyone following this information? Does anyone have any questions?
okay.
Yes. Yes, Dale. Go ahead. Question. Hang on.
Yes.
When you're searching for location, is there a way to save it? Like, can I save Calgary, Alberta for my searches?
Yes, you can save your searches.
Yes.
I'm just trying to find the one here, profile visibility off LinkedIn. So you can change your profile visibility on here. And I just wanted to show you how you can manage what people see. And they keep so when you're making changes on your profile, you need to make sure that you turn this off, because every time you make a change on your profile, it will go out to all your people that you're connected to, and anybody who's following you. So make sure of that. Profile viewing option. So they give you 3 ways that you can view profiles. So if you set this to anonymous LinkedIn member, then people won't see your headshot. So I recommend that you let people see who you are, because the tendency when somebody's headshot does not show up is that the people think that, what are people trying to hide? What are they hiding from me? And so it puts a block in your communication and cuts your credibility down. So let's go back to our search. And this little back arrow is your best friend.
So the back arrow is in the top left-hand corner.
Yeah.
So anytime you go back, you choose that.
But once you get in privacy and settings, sorry, I forgot. Once you're in privacy and settings, you can't go all the way back, because privacy and settings, they usually make you log in again.
How did we get to that?
So my tab is still open at the top, so I went back to my tab. I usually have several LinkedIn tabs open when I'm doing active searches. So here, every time you click that apply button, your LinkedIn is saving that search. And that search will be saved until you clear it. You see what I'm talking about? So I've got 8 searches here that I will receive emails through the email that I have set up on LinkedIn as my primary email. So you can have several different emails set up on your LinkedIn, but you only choose one as your primary email. So for instance, I've got my email for my marketingmentress.com, marketingmentress.ca, and my marketingmentress@gmail, and I've got some Eastlink emails. I've got about 6 different emails. So I've got them all attached to LinkedIn, but only one is set up as my primary, because I've got all my emails connected to my marketingmentress@gmail, for instance, and so people can then just message me. If they message me on any one of those emails, it's going to come to me through LinkedIn to my marketingmentress@gmail. So that's my primary one.
Paul has a question, Christine.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Let's say if somebody really wanted to, after this training, to really spend a lot of their time on LinkedIn and put a lot more effort into it. How would somebody import their database and their contacts that they currently have to leverage their LinkedIn connections with them, and then at least start from there and then grow it further?
You can do that through your network. So there is a place where I don't want to confuse everybody here and talk about too many things, but you can use your data for smarter, or you can LinkedIn. So right here, you have more contacts to connect with. You can do this, and you can go into these options, more options, and you can upload other emails. I always choose upload a file. If you've got a file, you can upload that file of contacts. And then what LinkedIn does is it helps you to invite them to connect with you. Another way that you can do it, now here's a word to the wise. Do not use these. Because if you've got people in your email, your grandma, your aunt, your children, a friend down the street, and they don't have a business, LinkedIn will send them a message asking them to set up a profile. And they will keep getting these messages over and over and over until they set up a profile with LinkedIn. I know, because when I first got started on LinkedIn, I did that. I thought, oh, this is really easy. I don't have to enter each one in individually. I can just let LinkedIn do it. Aha. And I got so many people mad at me.
We have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Christine, sorry, I missed that. Is that including Gmail?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good to know.
So, but yeah, and I use Gmail, right? And I'm a member, I'm a trained speaker for the Arthritis Society, and all my poor little old ladies from the Arthritis Society were getting these emails to connect, and I was bombarded. And so, enough said. You got my point.
Go
So,
ahead, Paul.
another way you can do it is if you go to a networking meeting, for instance, and you have just a few cards that you want to connect with people on LinkedIn. Because when I go to a live networking meeting, I always ask people, do you mind if I reach out and connect with you on LinkedIn? And they always say, yes. I've never had anybody tell me no. And I've had people tell me, well, I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't know much about it, but sure, you can connect with me. So you can enter an email address in here, and then you can choose what comment you'd like to have added with that invitation. But the one I usually use is I'd like to add you. Unless I've had a conversation with somebody about LinkedIn and can help you build a network. That's one way that you can do it as well. So you choose the one that you want to add and then click continue. And then LinkedIn will follow you through. So this is where you go to upload lists, if you've got lists that you want to upload. Another thing you can do in reverse of that is you can download your LinkedIn list to a CSV file. But caution here, with all the rules and guidelines, shall I say, that Canada has in place for privacy laws, we have to be really careful about gathering those LinkedIn emails and just starting to send messages to people. So I don't usually advise people to do that because I get so many messages all the time from people who have just harvested my email, and now they're sending me messages and they're pitching me, and I feel like I'm being slapped in the face. So LinkedIn is about business. Another question?
I'm going to interrupt. Yeah, I'm going to interrupt. So I know it's the tendency of all of us as business owners. We all have something that we're very excited to offer. So maybe if you could give some recommendation on what and how, what your phrasing should be and how you should approach people initially through LinkedIn and why. I think that's very important because our tendency might not be to know the etiquette. So if you don't mind sharing the etiquette, that would be really helpful.
Oh, that's fine. That's great. Thank you. I did want to talk about that. I teach the rule of 10 posts. For every 10 posts that you put on LinkedIn, 6 of them need to be reposts. A quote from Abraham Lincoln, a piece of music from YouTube that's really great, but not too racy, and maybe a TED Talk that you think your connections would enjoy. Just share something that you've read that's a really great blog that somebody has posted on your LinkedIn. And so 6 of them are they're shares of somebody else's property or something else, something somebody else has written. 3 of them you write yourself. Now, when you write a blog, you don't write a pitch. You talk about answering a question that somebody has asked you. For instance, I've just got a blog that I'm getting ready to publish here today, and it's called LinkedIn Tip 114, 5 Secrets of a Killer Profile. And that's going to be published on my LinkedIn. And it's one of the questions that answers several questions that people have that they give me. So what kinds of questions are people asking you? That's what you can write about. Then you attach all your links to the bottom so that they go to where you want them to go. So if you've got a special landing page, or you've written a blog on a topic that leads right into a big workshop that you're doing that answers the questions that you're addressing in that blog, put the link to that landing page for people to sign up for your workshop. So it's a very light touch pitch if you're doing it that way. Then 1 out of 10 posts is a pitch, inviting people to your workshop. But if you connect with somebody the very first time, you want to build rapport. It takes time to build that know, like, and trust. So you definitely don't want to be pitching to them right away. They can see, they'll check your profile. They can see in your profile that you're a professor at the University of Alberta and you teach whatever subject, right? But for you to start pitching to them right away and saying, I get so many people who just say, well, I do such and such, and we have a special running this week, and if you purchase before Friday, it's this price, but after Friday, it's going to go up, and it just feels like you're being slapped. So be really, really careful how you reach out to people. So when you do these searches and you find somebody, so let's go to Rytek. He says to connect here, but there's a little secret that people don't know. If you're on the free platform, you get 15 free in-mails. That means you can send an in-mail to somebody for free. So a direct, it's like an email message, but it's a LinkedIn email. So let's go check out his profile. He's a second level connection to me. And he's connected to a guy in Calgary. This guy is a social media guy. I know him very well. And so you go down his profile and see what kinds of groups he's in. Is he in any groups? He's got skills and endorsement. He's got some recommendations. That's great. Oh, he's got lots of followers, but he's not in any groups. Oh, darn. So we're going to have to invite him to connect, because we really, what we could, if we had a paid platform, so if you're on the basic paid platform, then you get 15 paid in-mails a month. So you could send him an in-mail without inviting him to connect. So if we want to invite him to connect, I'm not going to go through and do this. We definitely want to add a note. And you talk about him first. Hi, I noticed that you're the CEO of whatever company it is. And I noticed in your education that you've got such and such a degree or whatever. What inspired you to do that? And if you've got a workshop that's going, you say, well, I noticed that what you're doing is you're a CEO of such and such, and you have a degree, and I thought you might be interested in, and then invite them very gently. You only have 300 characters available here. Invite them to join you to your complimentary event on such and such a day. And if they're in Calgary and you're in Calgary, it works great. And that is a nice light touch to people. You're not pitching anything. You're holding an info session, or you're wanting to show them something new in your technology or whatever, right? So then after you finish, then you just click send invitation. Always remember to address the person by name and to sign it off at the end with your name. Always sign it off. Kind regards, warm regards, however you want to sign it off, and your name. You can put your phone number on there if you want, but I don't recommend it necessarily. You're just trying to start opening up a conversation with them and get them interested in maybe connecting with you, so that then that will facilitate a better communication. Any questions?
Any questions?
I think if you could touch on groups too, I think we all have some sort of niche that we're trying to target.
Right.
I don't use groups right now, but I'd like to get more involved with LinkedIn and maybe even put some more focused intent on joining a few groups that are part of my niche.
Okay, so here's the groups. You see this little hashtaggy sort of thingy looking? I call it a hashtag thing. You click on that, and then you can go into groups right here. And that's another really big kept secret on LinkedIn. So they will list your groups, and then you can discover groups. And LinkedIn will suggest groups that you might want to join. But be really careful. If you are a realtor, for instance, you don't join all the real estate groups because everybody in there is looking for the same client you are. You want to join, you want to think about, okay, who's my client? Who's my ideal client? Where do they usually come from? How do they find me? What do they usually do? What kind of a business are they? What's their title? Where do they work? And so if most of your clients that can afford to buy houses are in better paid jobs, here's something you need to know about LinkedIn. The average income of people on LinkedIn, and this is just recent research that I've done myself, is between $83,000 and $86,000 a year. That's of everybody on LinkedIn. But the research shows that people who are CEOs or in the executive positions on LinkedIn, the average income is around $150,000. So where are the people that can afford to buy our stuff, right? The average income of people on Facebook is $22,000. So, and that's a huge reason why I stay with LinkedIn. So you can be in up to 100 groups. So here's Coaching Zone. They're recommending that I join this group. I can say not interested, and then LinkedIn won't show that group to me anymore. But there's a whole bunch of people in this group that are coaches, and I'm a coach too. So should I join that group? Really, they're all looking for the similar kinds of clients I'm looking for. Maybe they don't want to coach them on the same topic as I do, but really that's not a good, coaching groups are really not a good group fit for me because they're too similar to mine. But here's a Toronto Entrepreneur Alliance, Marketing Sherpa, digital marketing. See, LinkedIn wants to take you to groups that are similar to the things that you've got in your profile. But this leadership development group might be a good group for me to join because there will probably be some people in there who are learning or looking to develop themselves further. So you just work through this and see Career Professionals of Canada. So does that make sense?
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so Christina, I hate to be interrupting, but it's 8:40, and yeah, I know we must kind of wrap it up. Are there any final either questions or points of interest about LinkedIn that you'd like Christine to touch on for 1 or 2 more minutes before we go? Because
Can you show us how to save a location, like when you're searching?
how to save.
Can I save like Calgary, Alberta? I forgot Calgary, Alberta, and every time I'm searching.
It's automatically saved.
It's automatically saved.
Yeah.
You don't have to
When you
save it.
click
As
that
you enter it,
apply
you press
button,
the apply button saves it.
Oh, okay.
yeah, and you have to go up into the corner there. Let's go back to our search. I'll just quickly show you. See here, you go up into this corner and clear them.
If you want to disable.
So when you notice that you're not getting any LinkedIn search alerts in your inbox on your regular email, then go in and clear these and refresh your searches.
Okay, that's great.
I had one more question.
Yes?
So based on your rule of 10 and posting sharing 6 times and posting 3 of your own blog posts or articles. When somebody likes or engages with your article, is there any way to bring them back in your sphere? Like I know on Facebook, I avidly use Facebook for real estate, but when somebody likes my post, I can invite them to like my real estate page.
Right.
Is there any ways to re-engage people that engage with your posts?
Yes. You can check through that post. It'll come up in your feed, in your main feed, when that post goes through, and it'll show you who's liked and who's shared and who's commented on it. Always make sure that you respond.
Can you show us one of your posts?
Actually,
Or is it?
I think,
Okay.
can we make that offline?
Sure.
Yeah.
We can do another one of these.
Yeah, so maybe if you can we'll do that offline with Paul.
Okay.
But thank you very much, Christine. We appreciate the
Awesome.
introduction to LinkedIn and especially the search alerts
Awesome.
information now. Was that
Awesome.
helpful for some of you here?
Been a treat.
Say again?
I'm going to sign off now, if that's okay.
Right. Thank you very much, Christine. It was a
You're
pleasure.
welcome.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
day.
Thank
Bye
you.
now.
Till.
TILL, till.